Attachable lenses have become quite the popular product in the recent years in the tech industry, but the product in front of me takes that to the next level. It's not a wide-angle lens, it's not a macro lens, and it's definitely not a fisheye lens. It's actually a full telephoto lens that attaches to your iPhone. Yeah, so let's check it out. It only costs $32, and if this video reaches 1,000 likes, I will be giving one away on Twitter, so definitely hit that like button. So before I open it up, if you're not very familiar with telephoto lenses, this is what a telephoto lens looks like when it's made for a DSLR. They're usually very big, they zoom in a lot, like for nature or bird photography people use it, and they usually cost quite a bit as well. So this is both smaller and cheaper, well, a lot cheaper at $32. So anyway, let's check it out and unbox it. So the box is pretty big right off the bat. It's a lot bigger than you would think just from the picture on the box, or like on Amazon when I bought this, I was thinking, yes, it's big. You don't really quite realize how big it is until you take it out of the box. It is like the size of my hand almost. This is a very big attachable lens for your iPhone, not the type of thing you could keep on your iPhone and walk around with it. Definitely a maybe keep in your backpack if you're into telephoto iPhone photography. So let's just put that over there. It actually does have a lens cap on both sides, which is pretty cool since there is some glass in there. Going further in the box, take that out. And now the interesting thing with this product is it's not easy. It actually comes with a tripod because this adds so much weight, and since it zooms in so much, if you don't have a tripod with it, it's gonna be hard to like keep the phone steady enough to take a good picture. And the tripod actually attaches to the lens, and I'll show you that in a bit when we're setting it up. It also comes with, I didn't mention these, cases for the iPhone 6 or 6S Plus, the iPhone 6 or 6S, as well as the iPhone 5. And since I have the iPhone SE, we will be using the iPhone 5 for the setup. So in here you get a tripod holder thing, so you can put your phone in it and attach this to a tripod if you're using it on a tripod. If you have the lens on your phone and then you're attaching your phone to a tripod, this is what you'll use. But you can, as I said, just attach the lens to the tripod and then have your phone hanging off of it. So I'll put that aside. And then you also get a nice little soft carrying pouch for the lens if you are going to carry it around in your backpack. Although you'll see later on, it's probably more of a novelty item, which tends to happen to a lot of these types of products. There's also a user manual in there. Correction, this is actually, if you're not using an iPhone, you can put your phone in there and then adjust this. That's a horrible noise. But you can adjust that so the lens will screw into there and it can fit on another phone that's not an iPhone. Very nice that they include this, even though it's made for an iPhone, and they include the iPhone cases. They do have support for all types of phones. Top-notch stuff right there. And it is interesting, these cases like aren't half bad. They're not that protective, especially they don't come over the front, but the fact they include 3 of these for $32, there are a lot of companies out there that will sell just this for like 30 bucks. So let's go ahead, put the case on the phone. I have a skin on the phone, so it's not gonna fit perfectly, but still basically fits perfectly. And let's take the tripod over here and put the lens on the tripod. All right, so we have the lens on a tripod. Kind of neat looking. So this is the side that you put on your iPhone. Go ahead and do that. You just screw it into the camera module. It's open. You just screw it in. I'm gonna close the tripod for this to make it a little bit easier. All right, I got the threading. Then you just screw it in, and this thing rotates. So you can set up the tripod with it on, like so, and it stays put. And that's how you keep it still, so you can take good pictures. Take off the front, then you have it fully ready to go. And this black part up here isn't just for show. This actually has manual focus built into the lens, which, as you'll see when we do the sample picture, you have to both focus it on your phone and in the lens, which is just kind of like a balance. You need to check the focus on the phone, autofocus it, change the focus on the lens, but it's not that hard to get it in focus and get a good picture. So with that out of the way and the product ready to go, let's take a sample picture. All right, so here we are. The phone is right here. The products are over back there, and I will take a picture after I take the zoomed in picture to show you the difference it makes. But we also took some sample pictures outside that I'll be checking out and commenting on. It's really ridiculous. I can't wait to show you. So you just open up the camera app like that. And so you can see right off the bat how zoomed in it is for how far away that is. That's a good, what, like 8-10 feet? 8-10 feet. And it looks like you're on the same table with the camera. So here's what I'm talking about with the focus. You have to both focus it on the iPhone and the lens, and you just match those focuses up. Since these are at the closer range of the focal length of the lens, it's almost all the way focused in, and you can see it's pretty zoomed in picture. Now we'll go ahead and take that picture. Boom. And now I'm going to remove the lens to show you just how wide, to show you the difference. So if I take the picture now, and then I show those two side by side, you can see here, look how zoomed out that is, and then zoomed in. It's a huge difference. There is some distortion, and you'll see that even more with the other pictures that I show you. There's definitely some distortion, but just the difference there's so much zoom right there. It's really ridiculous. Kind of a cool product, not gonna lie. Not the most practical because it's big and clunky and hard to install and all that kind of stuff, but it definitely delivers a zoomed in result like it promises. So starting off with this zoomed in of the tree, this is the zoomed in telephoto version, and there isn't too much distortion here. You can see it gets a little washed out in the corners, but really not too bad with a picture like this. And then moving over to the zoomed out version, you see so much more. It's really just ridiculous to see the difference that this lens makes in terms of zoom. I mean, that is what it's built for and made to do, but it's still crazy to look at and actually see it in action and working and making that big of a difference. I mean, this portion, the smaller portion that it zoomed into, has to be like 1/100th of that whole picture that it takes without the lens. So moving on to the next one, you can see a little bit more distortion with this. This is zoomed into the grill, and you can see that the sides of the grill are kind of like sloped inwards, a little distorted. You can see in the corners there's more distortion around the trees. It looks like that one tree is bending left a lot, and it may be bending left a little bit, but definitely not that much. The distortion is just a little bit more apparent here, and then moving on to the zoomed out version of that, you can see so much more. Even though I'm expecting it, it still just blows my mind to see how much of a difference it really makes. So moving on to the next picture, this is just of some logs in my neighbor's yard. Then seeing the zoomed out version, you can again hardly see where it is, it's so far out. And you can zoom in digitally and like pinch to zoom to try to get that close on your iPhone if you take the bigger picture, but you'll never really get that close, still retaining at least the amount of detail that it does. It doesn't retain that much detail because of all the glass it's looking through, but it's still more than you're retaining if you just zoomed in all the way on your iPhone. And then the next picture is a picture of the ground, and you can see how close up this is, and being closer there's a lot less distortion here, and it actually looks kind of artistic and good. This is probably my favorite of the sample pictures that we took. And then moving on to the zoomed out version, not as big of a difference because it's just a closer subject in general, but you can see where the corner it's zooming in on is there. And again, you could try to zoom in all the way there, but you would just lose so much more detail rather than using the lens. And then the next sample picture is just of some logs in the back of my yard. Again, there isn't too much distortion in this picture. I guess it really varies from picture to picture. You won't always get a great result. Again, it's in focus. The colors are a little washed out meh. And then moving on to the zoomed out version, the colors look a lot better. It's really, really zoomed out. It zooms in all the way across my yard, which is very impressive. A good testament to how much this lens zooms in. I feel like I've said that plenty this video, but it's very true. The lens definitely gets the job done. And then moving on to the last sample picture, a little birdhouse. You can really see the distortion in this picture. It's almost curved around the birdhouse, the grass behind it. And that's definitely just the lower quality glass inside of that lens, but the birdhouse is still in focus, zoomed in, and then moving on to the zoomed out version, and you can hardly even see where the birdhouse is in this picture. It's really ridiculous. Obviously the picture quality without the lens is a lot better because it's not looking through all that low quality glass, but the zoom in difference is a huge, huge difference. So some things I want to mention after taking sample pictures and trying this product out is, one, if you have it in landscape mode, if you have the lens screwed in landscape and your phone in landscape mode and it's bigger than the iPhone 5, the balance is off, so you're going to need to have it either in portrait or use a smaller phone because most pictures people prefer to take it in the landscape mode anyway. So if you do have it in landscape mode and a bigger phone, you're going to need to work with the balance and maybe counterbalance it or something. Then the other thing I want to mention is this lock right here that's supposed to lock the head on top is really not high quality at all. This is tightened down a ridiculous amount and I can still move it all around. So if you want it, like, it can still stay, ooh, almost dropped it. It can still stay put on itself at this tightness, but you really need to tighten it up as much as you possibly can to get it to stay like this. Well, that's it for this video. Definitely an interesting product, and that's what we aim for on the channel. Interesting products that get your attention and that are cool to check out, see if they work, see if they're just bad or if they're actually cool and practical. Obviously, this is not very practical. Awesome to have as a novelty item. It's not too expensive. Cool to show your friends, that kind of stuff. Remember, if this video does reach 1,000 likes, I will be giving one away on Twitter. So hit that like button. Go follow me on Twitter at MSTechYT, and I'll be giving one away. I've started doing that recently with videos with the lesser expensive products. If it reaches 1,000 likes, giving them away, and you guys seem to love that, and it's great feedback on the videos, so I'll probably keep doing that. Anyways, that's this product. That's the iPhone Telephoto Lens for $32. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more content, and as always, stay classy.